Good morning, traders. So today, I told you guys I was going to do a setup overview. I was going to go over specifically this target setup. Um, I was having some issues on my computer, so I figured I'd just come over here and do it. So for target, I'm actually going to pull out to the longer time frame. Right now, I'm going to go to the weekly. Um, don't mind that. So here on the weekly chart, there's like one thing that's pretty interesting to me, and that's these like distinct, highs before we topped out on the Bollinger Band and broke under the 20 EMA, which is the blue one. Sorry, I have all these EMAs on. Um, Mind you, I have issues with this scroll zoom situation, but we're gonna rock with it anyways. But on the weekly, I'm looking at this kind of phase. This box area is a phase of accumulation. So on my first time I filmed this video, I essentially had just drawn the trend-based strip from this high, this low, to this lower high. And that's distinct. This took out that high, so the stops came out. So this lower high was distinct, and I was looking for, the trend-based fib extensions, the key ones. And this 1272 is an area of profit take that we know, right? So keeping that into consideration, I also marked this level right here, this 251.48. This is where I was watching the EMAs crossover. I used the 513 EMA, and then that led into like the 20 moving average on the Bollinger Band to come down, and then 34 EMA. It's kind of like when I made the lower high and confirmed under that you get the down move into these projections, Fibonacci projections, also expansion levels. So these are the downside expansion. Usually you see profit take around that 1272. So you saw those bounces. This area was pretty strong, consistent 147. We're going to come back to talking about that. But for me, what I was looking at was, okay, where is the key level like in this range? I had just marked this level. I had marked these key fib levels. There was confluence here with one of the fibs around 197, but in this range, I essentially zoomed it from this swing low to this swing high and was looking at those extensions and the profit take, and there was confluence with that 786 on the same range, with 786 and the profit take here. So sellers, their extension from this big down move on the weekly, and then the break under and trying to go into that lower part of the Bollinger Band, which we've subsequently caught. So now what I'd be looking for is accumulation. I got higher lows right here on the weekly on my Woody CCI. This is like perfect for me. And what I'm looking for is kind of like Wyckoff accumulations. And so you see this higher low. This is where I'll go to the daily. Unfortunately, my thing is just like messed up right now. But so what I'm looking at is, we have this VWAP here. It's kind of in our confluence zone just above. So like a break and retest, bear flag, people be like, oh, there's a bear flag. Okay, break and retest. We also have this gap. So it's inefficiency. All right, word. So I'm looking at these higher lows printing. I got this red coming back over the zero. Like this looks good for like building a nice little swing if I wanted to come and play this retest and see if it's accumulation. On the daily, we do have that higher low. And then if I zoom in closer, we kind of have this not fully expanding pattern, but it's let me go smaller, 65-minute. It's like flat tops, flat top, lower high, break above, and that's where I have the fib extensions here. So I have this range in between, and then the fib extensions, and then on the 15-minute, like say we go here, from this low off here to the higher low, the trend-based fib. So we're in a key moment where we're above that 1272 consolidating this bull flag. I'm looking for above this. I'm essentially going for a continuation. The 1618 is at 138.53. So confirmation above 135, like mid 135. We're pushing 138s. I like 137 calls. Another key level is 136.70. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the entry kind of setup. And then your risk is really 133 depending on your time frame, and then if you're shorter, like you can put it 144 or manage it intraday for the week. But it's kind of hard, not necessarily the best time to get into other swings. Tech is looking interesting, so that's why I'm keeping an eye out for it. And then if I go to here, let me just put the 3-minute. Let's look at the system, the 3 15-minute system. Looks like it's trying to cross above. So this flag could potentially break to the upside over 135 today. I would look for a confirmation of 135, 36 though. And those breaking Friday's highs. Essentially, that's the next setup. So these are like the setups within the range, and then your risk is pretty much intraday fib situation. Something like, well, if it'll even let me draw it. Okay, I'll let me draw it. Yeah, so I would look at probably 38.2. I would look for an entry actually, 40, 134.47, and then pull back to 618, 43.23 probably as your stop. If you can, you can go for 134 as your stop, depending on your time. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, move to 137, and then if you're looking for like a longer time frame, like next year, I don't really talk about this stuff that often because I don't feel like it's necessarily works for everyone. But if I go to a weekly, looking for pretty much consolidation range, that's 172 is what you want to confirm. So like 170s, position yourself like 160s, 170s for before you try to push out these sellers. Once this trade is invalidated and it plays the range, got time on your side, you're probably over 20 MA, 34 EMA, and 200 EMA at that point. So yeah, that's it.